Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen along with Tim Ryan and Carissa Thompson. Kurt Warner woke up this morning with some blurred vision and some post-concussion symptoms. Went to the coaching staff, told them he couldn't go. Matt Leinart gets the start today for the Cardinals. How does that affect their game?
Well, I think first things first. I think ultimately, big picture-wise, the right decision by Kurt Warner. Kurt had to protect Kurt from Kurt, so I think not playing is the right decision. What does it mean for Matt Leinart as the starter? Sam, I think he is at somewhat of a disadvantage, and I'll tell you why. He just found out this morning he's going to be the starting quarterback, which means he did not work all week with the ones to get a lot of reps in terms of the game plan installation. A couple of things I think he'll need to handle today. Number one, the pressure. Tennessee's getting better at their pass rush. Chuck Cecil will try to heat him up with the blitz, and I would think that newfound running game is going to be a big part of their offense. Look for Tim Hightower and Beanie Wells to smash it up in there a lot.
Let's take a look at the key inactives in the game. And for Ken Whisenhunt and the Arizona Cardinals, it's Kurt Warner. For Jeff Fisher and the Tennessee Titans, their starting wide receiver, Justin Gage, misses his third straight game. Now, for more on what's going on in the game, let's go to the sideline to Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, I did get a chance to talk to Matt Leinart just a little bit ago. Like you said, Tim, he found out early this morning, although in the back of his mind all week, he had a hunch that this would happen. Ken Whisenhunt told us yesterday his team prepares the same way no matter who the quarterback is going to be. Something to watch for. Matt Leinart is wearing a glove on his left hand for the first time ever, hoping to get a better grip on the football. I also asked him about going up against Vince Young, the first time that's happened since the 2006 Rose Bowl. He said he's looking forward to it. They're good friends, but this time he's the one who wants to come away with the win.
Thanks very much, Carissa. Overcast skies here in Nashville. We may get some rain during the course of the game, but the temperatures are mild, 59 degrees. The Tennessee Titans won the coin toss. They have deferred to the second half. So Rob Barones tees it up to kick it off. Larod Stevens howling deep for Arizona. Barones steps forward, and here we go. Stevens howling 3 yards deep, brings it out. And he is grabbed high and brought down at the 20-yard line. And the left-handed quarterback, Matt Leinart, making his first start since October 2007. Last week, second quarter in St. Louis. Kurt Warner chased by O.J. Atogwe, knocked him down. His head hit the turf. He finished the first half, did not play after that. Practiced all week, but today said he couldn't go. He had some blurred vision on the peripheral edges of his vision.
And you could tell in talking to him last night, he was very much concerned and apprehensive about playing today.
Cardinals come out two tight ends. Tim Hightower starts at running back. It's Hightower on the carry. Had 110 yards rushing last week, thrown for a loss. Michael Griffin with the tackle. Looking at the Arizona starting lineup, Tim Hightower starts. We'll see a lot of Beanie Wells running the football. Larry Fitzgerald leading the NFC in catches. Anquan Bolden, the great second receiver. We'll see Steve Breston as well. The offensive line has been solid and has played together now for a couple of seasons, and they're playing well. Larod Stevens Howling is in the backfield. 6 defensive backs in for the Titans. Leinart being rushed, throws, then the pass off the left hand of Fitzgerald incomplete, and Leinart took a hit on the blitz. The Tennessee Titans, who have won 4 in a row after an 0-6 start. Defensive front, watch for Kyle Vanden Bosch, and Tony Brown had a big game last Monday night. Linebackers solid. Keith Bullock, their leading tackler from my hometown, New City, New York. And the secondary, Harper is back. Here is 3rd and 12.
Well, they blitzed on second down. I think they're going to choose to play coverage here on 3rd and long. They do.
Leinart throws short to Hightower, and he's brought down at the 22-yard line. So the offense doesn't get much going. Kevin Casefaharn in on the tackle of Tim Hightower. And it's 3 and out for the Arizona Cardinals.
And I will say this, you watch the Tennessee Titans on defense and Chuck Cecil, the defensive coordinator, they've gotten better every week. And a huge part of that, Sam, has been their secondary. You know, beat up with Finnegan missing games, Nick Harper missing games, Vincent Fuller missing games. As those guys have gotten healthier, it's been obvious the caliber of that defense and the style of play has gotten better.
Ben Graham, the left-footed punter, good high kick. Kevin Casefaharn back at the 25, finds a little lane. And about a 10-yard return as he is taken down. We've got an update coming your way, and for that, let's go to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
Similar situations, different results. 4th and 1, Redskins down, incomplete pass. They lose to Philadelphia 27-24. Atlanta down with Chris Redmond, the backup quarterback in. 4th and goal, closing seconds. They score a touchdown. Roddy White takes it in, and they lead Tampa 20-17. 23 ticks remaining. Sam and Tim.
Thank you very much, Kurt. And we welcome those of you who are just joining us to Nashville as the Tennessee Titans, riding a 4-game winning streak, start from the 34-yard line. Vince Young off the play fake, throwing deep and wide open. Nate Washington on the grab inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Nice play fake by Vince Young. 29-yard pickup on first down.
Well, and very good at it because they're just going to clear out routes. You see all the defenders going that way, which leaves a huge void in the zone for Nate Washington. Good job by Vince Young. Sam stepping up in the pocket. They had a lot of guys in to protect. There's some good pressure coming from the defensive end position. Vince stepped up, climbed the ladder a couple of steps in the pocket and delivered a perfect ball to Nate Washington.
Come out with two tight ends, both Scaife and Algie Crumpler. Scaife in motion. Off the play fake again. Young in trouble and gets away. He is tough to bring down. Now he's brought down at the 35. Pickup of a yard on the play. Vince Young is elusive. He's big and strong and tough to bring down.
Yeah, he is, and that's where they want to keep him. I mean, they would love to keep Vince in the pocket, and I would assume that their rush today, really out on the edges, is Algie Crumpler now, who played very good last week coming off the field. They're going to try to keep Vince hemmed up in the pocket. You saw there just an example, Sam, of his lower body strength. Brian Robinson, the big nose tackle, just dripped off of him.
Crumpler replaced by Craig Stevens, second-year tight end from California. The toss to Chris Johnson, the NFL's leading rusher. And he's inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 2. Brian Robinson and Darnell Dockett combine on the stop of Chris Johnson, who's having just a wonderful season. Came into the game in 10 games, having rushed for over 1,200 yards. And you see the total combined yardage.
Guy's going to give you 150 a game. Super impressive. Sam, he's just a different speed than everybody else. You always talk about all that speed and those big runs. It's his vision that really sets it up for him.
6 defensive backs for the Cardinals. 3 wide receivers, Lavelle Hawkins in. And they stop the play.
They're going to get Roos. Yeah, they're going to get big Roos.
Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Terry McCauley is our referee. The false start on Michael Roos, the left tackle. There is Jeff Fisher, whose team has turned things around the last 4 games.
Yeah, there's Roos there at left tackle. You see him, he's pulling. He wants to get out and pull and get a jump start and leaves a fraction early, and easy call there by the line judge.
Ball back at the 34. They have to get to the 26 for a first down. Vince Young has won 8 straight as a starter. He has time, steps up and throwing deep. And the jump ball is batted away. Greg Toller, the rookie out of St. Paul, the 4th-round draft pick, with an excellent play on Nate Washington.
Well, I think Vince, you're going to see Vince get a lot of these opportunities, which means single safety high, which means he's got the matchup out on the edge that he wants, and that's just terrific work by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Sam, watch him get up in the air.
And I called Toller, I apologize. It was Rodgers-Cromartie on the coverage.
And perfectly played on that takeoff route by the corner.
Rob Baronis, who hit 2 50-yarders on Monday night, will attempt from 52. He's got the strong leg, and it's right down the middle. That is his 12th career 50-yard field goal, the 4th in the last 3 games for Rob Baronis. So Tennessee grabs the lead. This is a matchup of Matt Leinart out of USC and Vince Young out of Texas. They met up in the Rose Bowl in 2006. USC had a 38-26 lead, and then Vince Young and those great legs brought Texas back. They won the national championship 41-38. Vince Young went third in the draft that year. Matt Leinart went 10th in the draft.
Did we have to show that?
I'm sorry, Mr. USC. That was a great highlight. Great football highlight. And Matt Leinart getting the chance to start. And as Carissa said right at the top, he hopes to come out with a win. And we welcome you to Nashville, Tennessee, as you look at the Tennessee Titans head coach, Jeff Fisher. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Carissa Thompson. Each team has had the ball once. Tennessee has a 3-0 lead. Arizona Cardinals playing without Kurt Warner, who is out with post-concussion symptoms. Woke up with some blurry vision today, could not go. Matt Leinart getting the start. Tennessee got the ball, and Rob Barones kicked a 52-yard field goal. He kicks off now. Rod Stevens howling at the goal line. Finds a lane and is brought down at the 25-yard line. Stanford Kegler, backup linebacker, in on the tackle. 25-yard return. There is Kegler heading off. Good coverage by the Tennessee Titans. Arizona Cardinals have won 3 in a row, 6 of their last 7. Their offense has been tremendous with Kurt Warner at the helm. Matt Leinart has not been able to put up a point this season when he's gotten a chance to play.
Part of his success is going to be a big part of what Kurt's success was over the last 3 games, and that's pounding the rock and controlling the line of scrimmage in the run game.
Beanie Wells is in at tailback, trying to bounce it outside, and he was taken down by the middle linebacker, Stephen Tulloch, a 4th-year man out of North Carolina State.
Well, nobody knows how good this guy is, Stephen Tulloch. Watch him get up and just fill his hole right there. You see a down block by Anthony Becht out on Javon Curse. Tulloch is able to scrape over the top and get a nice tackle right at the line of scrimmage. This guy is a real big-time player when you watch him on tape. He shows up everywhere.
Passing down, Tulloch comes out. Hightower in the backfield now. 3 wide receivers. Hightower carrying. There's a lane. Nice run by Tim Hightower up to the 37-yard line. He's got a first down. Hightower had a career high 110 yards rushing last week.
Yeah, watch the crack here by Bolden. He's going to seal up the edge for Hightower. Really a good call. It's only 7 guys in the box, which means they have 2 deep safeties, which is an advantage in the run game, and they're able to get to it. And again, it was the block by Bolden that freed it up on the edge.
That run game is going to be crucial for Matt Leinart and the Arizona Cardinals. 2 tight ends in, Ben Patrick and Anthony Becht. Patrick shifts. Leinart with time throws for Bolden, and it's incomplete. Bolden wanted a flag. He was wrapped up, covered well by Cortland Finnegan. And talking about that Arizona running game, it's been a combination of Tim Hightower, the 2nd-year man out of Richmond, and Beanie Wells, the rookie out of Ohio State. They have rushed for 162 yards per game over the last 3 games.
Well, and there's been a commitment to it, and I think part of it, and we've seen here, they've had a couple of nice runs, is they've had success early in games in running the football, which has certainly given them the desire and the comfort level, Sam, just to stick with the run game throughout.
On 2nd and 10, 3 wide receivers in. Leinart has time, throws, and finds Larry Fitzgerald. And the NFC's leading receiver is inside the 45 to the 43. Cortland Finnegan took him down. 20-yard pickup on the play.
Well, great throw there from Matt Leinart, just setting his feet on time, delivering it on the deep dig route or the deep in cut, right in the middle, right in the hole in the zone, which is the perfect place to throw it against that defense. Good read by Leinart.
Larry Fitzgerald has now caught a pass in 80 consecutive games. Beanie Wells in the backfield with 2 tight ends. Wells carrying. He's quick to the hole. Fights his way across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play.
Well, they started 2 deep with the safeties back here deep, but watch this fill by Chris Hope, who went to the Pro Bowl last year, and you can see why. Watch him come just flying up in there There was a nice little hole there for Beanie Wells, and believe me, as a safety, when you see that load, Beanie Wells coming at you, the guy's got tremendous size. Chris Hope's not scared. He lit it up down there in the hole. 5 defensive backs in. Vincent Fuller in for Tennessee. Jacob Ford in at defensive end. They go empty backfield. Now Ben Patrick shifts. Leinart with time puts it up for Preston. A little too far. Nick Harper was out there in coverage. Nice throw, I thought, even though it was a little too far. I like Leinart's throw here. Well, he's running really a slant go, a sluggo play, and look at all the off coverage. I mean, it's hard to execute that kind of route when you have a corner that's sitting in what we call cover 3. He's got the deep third, and he's 10 yards off the ball. Ken Wisenhunt, who calls the plays, the head coach, done a great job in his 3 years in Arizona. Tim Hightower in the backfield. 3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers. Leinart being rushed. Gets rid of it, and the ball is dropped by Hightower. Would have been short of the first down. Big time pressure from William Hayes, the defensive end. Well, and this is going to be the matchup to watch because Leinart is a left-handed quarterback, which means this is his blind side. They love William Hayes. 4th round pick a couple of years ago. He's got 4 sacks on the season. They think this guy eventually is going to be a real big-time player out there rushing the passer and good at defending the run also. Kevin Case-Maharn back deep for Tennessee. As the defense holds, Ben Graham goes to the corner. Case-Maharn waits for a fair catch. It bounces. The Cardinals have it covered. Keep it in the field of play. And the ball is down at the 2-yard line. This is Music City, USA. We are in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're loving it. Back in Nashville, there's Matt Leinart over there with Brian St. Pierre, Kurt Warner in the sweatsuit, and Mike Miller, the passing game coordinator. On first down, Chris Johnson going straight ahead. They mark the ball at the 5-yard line on the punt. So the Titans starting from the 5, pick up 3 on first down. Well, we talk about how good Chris Johnson is, and he is. I mean, he's an MVP candidate. There's no question. And Arizona will have a tall task today looking at that front 7. You know, one thing now over the last 3 games is they have been gashed in the run game. You go back the last 3 weeks and the opponents are averaging about 150 plus against them on the ground. They have been terrific on the road, though, as you see from those numbers. Off the play fake, Young rolls and runs with it and steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Nobody open downfield, and Young went out of bounds at the 10. One thing about Vince is they want to keep him in here. So once he gets outside the pocket, just watch the leverage of all these backers. And they bite hard on the play action. That's a big part of it. But look at the leverage here. You got all the white jerseys. There's no cutback for Vince. Good job by Hagens taking a Mod Hall there. And Vince will do that now. Typically, Vince will just turn when he has an opportunity and run out of bounds long before he ever cuts it back inside and gets up the sidewalk. Lavelle Hawkins in as a 3rd wide receiver. It's 3rd and 5. Johnson carrying. Patient goes outside. He's got a first down. Good blocking up front. He waited for something to open up. Got a first down. Carlos Dansby chased him out. Chris Johnson, what a year he has had. He has been explosive. He has had 12 runs of 30 yards or more, 5 runs of 50 yards or more, 1,242 yards rushing, leading the NFL. He's on pace for close, just under 2,000 yards. Well, he's the fastest back in the league, Sam, bar none. It's not even close. Here's Johnson. Slipping a tackle and getting across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And you can see he's got that kind of power now. He just ran through an arm tackle of Chike O'Keefer as if Kiefer was getting up off the ground. I remember when this guy came out of East Carolina, got drafted down at the end of round number 1. Heck, Wiz told us yesterday they loved him. They just thought that maybe he'd slip to round 2. They were going to snap him up. That didn't happen. I remember when he was at East Carolina, his senior year, and you talk about all-purpose yards and what this cat can do. 2 games his senior year, all-purpose yards, up over 400 in a game. 1 for a team. Enough yardage for an entire team. Young on the deep drop, has time, throws, and it's caught.
by Bo Scaife, the tight end. No, Algie Crumpler, the second tight end, who's back in the game and is down at the 29. It's a first down. Going with two tight ends. And Vince Young has come back after the 0-6 start with Kerry Collins at starting quarterback. Got the starting job and is really the entire offense, and credit Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator, constructing an offensive game plan suited for Vince Young.
Yeah, there's no handcuffs on him. If he wants to run, they let him run. And let's also remember this is year 2 for him in the offense, which is a huge asset.
Swing it out to Chris Johnson. Gets by. One man, stays in bounds. Nice move, has a first down. Across the 40 at the 41-yard line. He slipped the tackle of Clark Hagans and turned it into a nice gain.
Clark Hagans has got him on the swing route and just falls off of him. I mean, and the guy's got so much speed that when he's headed to the perimeter, it's really hard to get your head and shoulders across him, so you're almost forced to give him an arm tackle. He's just got a lot more power than people realize, and he runs right through those about 85% of the time.
Dangerous in the passing game as well. Two tight ends, Bo Scaife and Algie Crumpler. First down for the Titans. Young wanted to go deep. Under pressure, he gets rid of it, and he finds a man. Bo Scaife, the tight end, down to the 42-yard line. Good job by Vince Young. A couple of years ago, he takes off and he runs with that ball. This time he had the patience to break free and pass.
Well, and it's the ability to extend the play, because it's Dockett that falls off of him, and Dockett is a darn good tackler and guy that can get to the quarterback. Look at that effort from David Stewart, just continuing to push. And then again, Scaife on a crossing route up in front of the safeties. But that's all Vince, being able to extend the play with his legs. And then what you love about this guy is his patience and his confidence. Now, Sam, he keeps his eyes down the field and delivers it with his arm.
Pickup of 17 on the play. Here's Johnson behind Ahmad Hall. There's no gain on the play. Calais Campbell, the defensive end, makes the stop for Arizona.
Should be a great matchup today, watching Adrian Wilson, the strong safety for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, you can tell by looking at that guy that he is strapped up and he is for real physically. And they use him in a lot of different ways, but I would think today, the guy can get to the quarterback, he can cover, he's very, very good in the box. But I would think today we're going to see him a lot down in the combat zone, Sam, and really being their best option for Chris Johnson in open space when it comes to tackling.
2nd and 10. Ninth play of this drive, which started at the 5-yard line. Johnson, nice move, then he gets hit hard as he got to the 35-yard line. But a pickup of 6 on the play. Antrell Roll with the hit that took down Chris Johnson. It's a good collision here. This is 3rd and 4 for the Tennessee Titans, with 3 wide receivers in. Lavelle Hawkins in as the 3rd wide out. Bo Scaife is the tight end. Blitz coming. Young gets rid of it. Caught. Kenny Britt, the rookie out of Rutgers, inside the 15. And he is stopped at the 11-yard line. Kenny Britt's had a chance to play with Justin Gage out, and he has been outstanding. 24-yard pickup. He's averaging better than 15 yards per catch.
Yeah, and he's just going to run a crossing route right here. You see the pressure come. Matt Ware comes off the edge. You've got Brian McFadden that's trying to run with him from an off position. That's just an outstanding job by the receiver in recognition and the pressure and running a choice route, little crossing route to the middle of the field. And again, perfect by Vince Young being on the same page with the receiver and throwing a nice ball.
What a drive. Javon Ringer in at running back, the rookie out of Michigan State. It's Ringer behind Ahmad Hall. And he is thrown back as he gets to the 10-yard line. Clark Hagans with an excellent play for the Arizona Cardinals. Pickup of a yard on the play. This drive started at the Titans' 5-yard line. Now a 2nd and 9 at the Arizona 10. First quarter coming to an end. Tennessee Titans sharp to start the game. And they've got a 12-play drive going. They have a 3-0 lead. Two winning streaks on the line. Arizona and Tennessee. End of the first quarter. Titans leading 3-0. Welcome back to Nashville. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Carissa Thompson. Kurt Warner not playing. See the neck? That's been bothering him all week. He was rubbing it. Matt Leinart is starting in his place. Vince Young rolling, throwing to the fullback, Ahmad Hall, who's down at the 6-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for Tennessee. First quarter, the Titans deferred when they won the coin toss, but they've had the ball twice.
Well,
they put up 121 yards.
Look at time of possession because they've been able to run the football and basically play keep away. Boy, that guy right there, Ahmad Hall, is a huge part, Sam, of what they do, number 45.
Great story.
The fullback. He is a tremendous lead blocker, and he is a huge part of their success on the ground.
There's 3rd and 5. Bosgate from tight end splitting out.
Check. Dancer.
Young, quarterback draw. Looking for an opening, and he doesn't find one. Great tackle on the play by Clark Hagans.
Well, these guys know Vince is such a running threat, and I want you to watch Darnell Dockett. He is going to sense this is a draw. Typically a pass rusher, they blow up that lane and get to the quarterback. Watch how he plays this. I mean, he knows before that ball is snapped, Sam, that a draw is coming. You see how he squared up with the guard and just kind of shadowed the quarterback. Vince had nowhere to go, and then the pursuit was able to catch up with him. Very well played by Dockett.
89-yard drive, and now the Titans' Rob Baronis attempts a 24-yard field goal out of the hold of Brett Kern. And Baronis is 2 for 2. He is 18 for 22 on the season. A terrific drive by Tennessee, but the Arizona Cardinals tighten up inside their 10.
Welcome back to Tennessee, where the Titans lead 6-0 in the second quarter. Obviously, for a defensive coordinator, your game plan is going to change when you know Kurt Warner is out of the game. I asked Chuck Cecil what his biggest adjustment was going to be. He said basically just worrying about the mobility of Matt Leinart. Also saying that he'd be lying if he wasn't happy that Kurt Warner wasn't playing, because he makes his job so much more difficult. He's been there and he's done that. For Matt Leinart, his inexperience doesn't give him that luxury. Guys?
Thanks, Carissa.
Well, I'll tell you a couple of things. If you're Chuck Cecil and you know there's a change, number one is you have your base ready to go because you know you're going to see more run, and then you get your blitz packages cranked up. Now, Kurt is great versus the blitz, and we're going to see him send more pressure on Matt Leinart as this game continues, especially, Sam, if they get down and have to throw the rock consistently.
Rob Baronis has put up the 6 points for the Titans. LaRod Stevens howling at the 2. And he is wrapped up at the 23-yard line. Good tackle on the play by Donnie Nicky. Cardinals on offense when we come back. Earlier today, Peyton Manning led his team back from 17 points down. The Colts are 11-0. Justin Forsett leading Seattle to a win in St. Louis. And Dallas Clark with Peyton Manning throwing to him. 9 catches, 1 touchdown.
Look at those eyes.
Kyle Vandermark. He's on fire.
Oh! Sam, what's wrong with him?
He's got the red contacts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good player now.
Cardinals from the 24-yard line. Tim Hightower in the backfield. Leinart checks off. Hightower straight ahead. Takes a hit. Bounces off. Good run by Hightower. Picked up 7 on the play. Nick Harper on the tackle.
I think Chris Beanie Wells has been good for Tim Hightower. Just the competition. I mean, if you can stimulate real competition at every position, you're going to be a better football team for it. And I think Tim Hightower, who was very, very effective in the pass game last year, has stepped up leaps and bounds in the running game, up over 4 yards a pop. It was a pleasure to sit down and have a couple of moments talking to him.
And he's worked on his game. He's added the receiving part of the game to his overall performance. Leinart throwing short. Fitzgerald with the catch at the 34-yard line. And that is very close to a first down. Fitzgerald thinks it is a first down. He's giving us the signal, which we like to get from the players. But it looks like Terry McCauley wants to bring the chains in. We'll get a measurement here. For Matt Leinart, this is his first start since October of 2007 when he was injured, missed the remainder of that season. Kurt Warner took over as the starter and made 41 consecutive starts, including the playoffs. Larry Fitzgerald. You know what? We like when the players let us know it's a first down, right, Tim? When they make the catch and they get up and there it is, first down.
There it is. Coaches love it too. We've had a couple of coaches tell us this year, man, after a big play, first down,
it's like,
get up there, give it to him.
No doubt. There's like no doubt about it.
And there's Larry.
Larry knows. Beanie Wells and Dan Kreider in the backfield. Beanie Wells taking it outside and comes up short on the line of scrimmage, maybe right at the line of scrimmage. Javon Hay, the defensive tackle, number 75 on the stop.
Now they are all over this. I mean, watch the defenders. Everybody shift over and count the defenders. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers that side, and watch how the defenders move over. I mean, there you slide 5 defenders right to the left side. You got an unblocked guy who's able to hit Beanie Wells in the backfield, and that's, again, Stephen Tulloch.
Early Doucette in at wide receiver for the Cardinals. Titans have 6 defensive backs in. On second down, Leinart throws, and it's caught. And ball pops loose. Doucette made the catch. I believe he was down on the play. And no, they ruled fumble. They ruled fumble. And it's recovered by the Titans. And the big Kevin Vickerson is the man who comes out with the ball. Now a discussion going on with the officials.
Yeah, did the ground cause the ball to go out? As Harper's on the back of early Doucette, he's going down there. It looked like the ground, at least from that angle, forced the ball out.
We'll check it out. I thought he was down. Arizona challenged the call on the field of a fumble as they look for a down by contact ruling.
Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one, I think, because there's a couple of things you have to think about. Did Anquan Bolden actually catch the ball and have control of it before it came out? Now, there's no doubt the ball is out, or Doucette, excuse me. There's no doubt that the ball is out before the knee goes down. So clearly a fumble for Doucette, if in fact it had been ruled a catch before, and I would think Terry McCauley has got to look at it. There's 1 foot down, there's the 2nd foot down, but did he have control of it as the feet came down? If he deems that he did, there's no doubt the ball came out and it'll end up being a fumble. So there's 1 foot down. There's 2 foot down. Does he still have 2 feet down? Looked like he had control, Sam. I think it's going to be a fumble.
I think you're right.
I think he had control. He showed that it was a catch, then lost it before the knee went down. I think this is going to be Tennessee football.
Kevin Casefaharn with a tackle and the forced fumble. Here comes Terry McCauley out with the decision.
After review, the receiver controlled the ball but was going to the ground prior to completing the process of the catch. It is an incomplete pass because he lost the ball going to the ground. It will be 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Please set the game clock to 11 minutes, 26 seconds.
Jeff
Arizona
Fisher
is not charged with a TV timeout.
Jeff Fisher disagrees, obviously, but you heard Terry McCauley's explanation was right on. Did not complete the process. Of the catch.
It's about the process is really what it's about. And he's still on his way down and trying to process the catch before the ball comes out. That's by the book. That's the way they should call it. That's the way they look at it. Terry McCauley got it right.
So the ball goes back to the 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Arizona. They retain possession. 3 wide receivers in. Early Doucette in at number 80 as the 3rd wide receiver. And now it's 4 wide receivers for Arizona. Leinart rolling under pressure. He throws deep, and it's incomplete. Great effort by Keith Bullock. He almost made a one-handed interception as he went up high and just failed to hold on.
Almost a great play, but again, watch the pressure. That's the matchup you got to want. Leinart's a left-handed quarterback. This is his blind side. William Hayes bearing down on him. He just chucks it up. 4 defenders around the receiver there, Breston, and Bullock almost made a great play.
Ben Graham on the punt. Up in the air toward the sideline. Kevin Casebahorn takes it, and his momentum takes him out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Leinart under pressure takes a big hit. 5-yard punt by Ben Graham. Titans' third possession starts from the 11-yard line. Here's Johnson. Oh boy, he knifes through the hole. Beautiful run up to the 24-yard line. Let's get an update on the Bears and the Vikings. Here's Kurt Menefee.
And the Vikings go on the scoreboard first. Brett Favre hooking up with Percy Harvin. 500th touchdown of Favre's career. That put them up 7-0. By the way, that 500 touchdown, TV says that's 388 more than he has. But I told him, you got 3 more rings, right?
Thanks, Kurt. Minnesota 9-1 starting action today. 2 tight ends in. Johnson cutting it back. Gets up to the 28-yard line. 8 carries for Chris Johnson. 44 yards, averaging over 5 yards per carry.
Well, and he wants to get 2,000. That's his goal this year, and has already said if he gets it, he will buy everybody up front, those offensive linemen, new cars. And I talked to Jeff Fisher about it. He said maybe he's reduced that now down to golf carts for the offensive linemen. But look at those numbers. I mean, 7 sacks during the course of the year, 5.3 yards per rush. Both of those best in the National Football League. It all starts, Sam, with that front 5 up front.
Last year brought the lineman and Ahmad Hall a 50-inch television. Because he made the Pro Bowl. He rushed for over 1,200 yards.
5-yard penalty, second down.
False start on Tennessee. Sets him back 5 yards. Back to the 23-yard line.
And it really all starts with the guy in the middle, right there, number 68, Kevin Mawai. 16 years in pro football. He's been coached by some great ones. Howard Mudd, who's in Indy now. Billy Muir, a longtime coach, coached him up at the Jets. And now Mike Munchak, who is really as good as it gets, the former Hall of Famer. Kevin Mawai in year 16, Sam, still playing at an extremely high level.
On second down, it's Johnson behind Ahmad Hall. Gets up to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 2 on the play. Kevin Mawai, who has been around the league, he knows what to do. There are people who criticize him for being a dirty player at times, but he's a guy that he goes over to the opposing coach, says hello, goes over to the referee, says hello, talks to the assistant
opposing coaches, the players.
Hey,
it's all love
to be the good guy.
It's all love until that whistle blows.
That's right. Look at that number, 236 career games.
Yeah, I asked him how long he's going to play. He said, as long as they pay me.
3rd and long, blitz coming. Young throws short. Lavelle Hawkins is wrestled down, short of a first down. Got up to the 32-yard line.
Got to be impressed with Vince Young, again, recognizing the blitz and getting it to the right guy. Offensive line doing a great job in terms of their protection, but they've tried to heat Vince up a couple of times, the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, and he's been able to bust it. He's been able to break it down and find the right receiver versus that blitz. He's 7 of 8, Sam, in the football game throwing.
First catch this season for Lavelle Hawkins, and Vince Young is actually hooked up with 7 different receivers in the game. First punt of the game for the Titans. Good punt by Brett Kern. Back deep, Steve Preston avoids one man. Now he's swarmed under at the 22-yard line. And that's where the Cardinals will take over. 45-yard punt. Tennessee leading 6-0. Back in Nashville, Jeff Fisher goes over, sees the quarterbacks there. A friendly rival.
Split it up.
Matt Leinart, Vince Young. They become good friends. They talk to each other a lot. Hightower and Kreider in the backfield. Matt Leinart 3 for 9, 27 yards. And they stop the play. False start against Arizona.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Levi Brown, the right tackle.
Well, and that's what happens when William Hayes has already run by you a few times in this game. You want to get off the snap and anticipate the snap count and the silent count for the offensive line. as much as you can. He was early.
And with the switch from Warner to Leinart, that means Levi Brown is Matt Leinart's protector.
No doubt.
Good matchup there. Larry Fitzgerald against Cortland Finnegan. Hightower on the carry. Picked up a couple up to the 18-yard line. Tony Brown with a stop. Tony Brown has been playing very well on the defensive line.
What did I just talk about? Anticipating the snap count. This guy is playing out of his head over the last 4 games. Watch his get off. I mean, he's by far the fastest guy off the ball. And look what that does to him. Lyle Sendeline, the center, has no chance of being able to hook him on the front side to open a hole for that run game.
3 wide receivers for Arizona. Beanie Wells in the backfield. Leinart looking and throwing for Bolden. Good grab, shoved out of bounds, just short of the 30-yard line. We love Terry.
TB says, if I ain't cheating, I ain't trying.
Here's 3rd and 3 at the 29-yard line. Jason Wright in. And the pass is caught for a first down by Steve Breston. He was hit immediately by the safety, Michael Griffin, but a good throw by Leinart, as he seems to be getting into a bit of a rhythm here.
Yeah, he just hit his back foot right there, right on time. And Breston, just reading what looked like some pressure coming up, is just going to come this way. You see they took Nick Harper. Nick Harper uncovered and came on a corner blitz. The corner, so that now leaves the safety who's got to play Steve Breston. Terrific recognition by him on the slant route.
Only the 4th first down for the Cardinals in the game. And that toss for Beanie Wells. Wells able to get it on a bounce, and he is down back at the 22-yard line. And there was a play that blew up on the Cardinals.
Well, this is a play they ran last week, and they get everybody, they load up the whole right side, and then they get Beanie Wells and just try to flip it out to him. And there's nothing wrong with that pitch. Yeah. I mean, that pitch is perfect. Beanie Wells, I believe, took his eyes off the ball, looking at Kyle Vandenbosch, who was bearing down on him, and couldn't corral it.
Loss of 13 on the play. Tim Hightower in the backfield as they go with 4 wide receivers. Early Doucette and Steve Breston in. Leinart gets time, throws short to Bolden. Slips a tackle and dives forward to the 31-yard line. And Quan Bolden has caught passes in 58 consecutive games. Pickup of 9 on that play.
There's some heat now. He talked about the matchup at the line of scrimmage. This is going to be hot in there all day. Kevin Vickerson and Reggie Wells on that last play were just going at it. Watch 96 and what happens here. Yeah, you see they pushed him down. Then Deuce Latouille wanted to come get on top. What you didn't see there was Vickerson get right back up and engage both of those guys. Javon
Curse in on the defensive line. 4 wide receivers for Arizona. Leinart finds Early Doucette with plenty of running room, and he's down at the Tennessee 43-yard line. Early Doucette has stepped up in the rotation, the wide receiver rotation, and he has contributed nicely for Arizona.
Well, they need him to do that. There's man coverage here. Watch everybody. They're going to run everybody off with Breston and Larry, and almost kind of rubs them, and there's just nowhere for a defender to get up and cover Early Doucette. That is outstanding design in terms of the play, and then the execution by the players was flawless. You're right, Leinert's starting to find a little bit of a groove.
Picked up 28 on the play. First down at the Titans 41. Hightower and Kreider in the backfield. It's Hightower with room to run. Gets outside and he is tripped up, but he's got a first down. Chris Hope on the tackle. But Hightower gets down to the 27-yard line, a pickup of 14.
Yeah, and they're going to pull everybody out, but I want you to watch the fullback here and the block that Kreider gets on Keith Bullock. And he's just able to pin Bullock to the inside. Bullock can't get off. Good vision by Hightower, then getting up in the hole and bouncing it to the perimeter to get extra yards for the first down. But Dan Kreider, Sam, the fullback, the 10-year veteran, the old Steeler, has been a big part of their run game. That was a good example why.
3 wide receivers. Hightower, 5 carries, 31 yards. Off the play fake. Leinart with time, puts it up for Breston, too far. May have thrown it away. Breston well covered by Cortland Finnegan.
And I would think a couple of things with Leinart. You're going to see him now get, because they've gotten some positive runs here in this last drive, you're going to see him, and we've seen it here, him get matchups out on the perimeter. Because there's no doubt Chuck Cecil, the defensive coordinator, will insert that extra defender up in the box to defend the heavy-set run game, which is going to give Matt Leinart those one-on-one matchups in the passing game on the perimeter.
Leinart had hit 4 in a row before that last incompletion.
And here it is again. You got perimeter matchups that you want.
2 tight ends in, Hightower in the backfield. It's Hightower on the delay, trying to cut it back, and fights his way for a tough 1.5 yards. He's down short of the 25-yard line. Best offensive possession of the game for the Arizona Cardinals, a 10-play drive.
Well, you got this guy once, you're not going to get him again here. Watch him set the edge in the backfield. He sees the pull of the guard. He knows now Patrick's got to block him. He's got to keep his outside shoulder free. Perfect. Forces the cutback by Hightower, and then you see all the blue jerseys in pursuit. Well played by Bullock.
Javon Curson at right defensive end. Arizona 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions in the game. 3 wide receivers. Out of the shotgun, Leinart. With time, he throws short, and they come up short of the 1st down. The completion to Anquan Bolden down at the 23-yard line. And we have come to the 2-minute warning. Tennessee Titans have a 6-0 lead. The Cardinals trying to cut into that. When you take time for lunch, check out foxsports.com. Log on 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. We've got great original shows. Monday, it's the after party with Jay Glazer. Talks to the top players from Sunday. Brian Billick, special coach speak on Tuesday as they talk about the job of position coaches around the league.
Well, and the unsung heroes around the league, too, when you talk about the outstanding position coaches.
41-yard field goal try, Neil Rackers. He's now 12 of 13 this season. His only miss was from 48. This one is perfect. And the Arizona Cardinals, an 11-play drive led by Matt Leinart, get 3 on the board. After the field goal, the kick coverage unit comes out. Sean Morey is the leader for Arizona. Larod Stevens howling, the rookie. Jason Wright also an important man on the kickoff coverage team.
You see that C on his chest, standing for captain. The guy, 8 years in pro football, has had an outstanding career on special teams.
Racker's kick to Michael Griffin, his 6th return this season. And he is brought down at the 20-yard line by one of the men we showed you, Larod Stevens howling.
Love that.
He's got good quickness. He gets down the field in a hurry. He's not a big guy. Makes a short tackle.
Let me tell you something. Huge advantage if you can have your return guys, which he is, cover kicks. That was outstanding.
Chris Johnson has 46 of Tennessee's 49 yards rushing, and Arizona's done a pretty good job on it.
Well, he's at over 5 yards a carry, but Arizona has not given up the big pop, the one of 25 plus, which typically Chris Johnson's going to get.
And Young, quick outside of Kenny Brett. Brett forced back and then shoved out of bounds at the 24-yard line. First-round draft pick of the Tennessee Titans.
Well, I think he's going to be a good one. Kenny Britt, coming when you just look at the size of him, and 6'3", about 220 pounds, got his first touchdown in that game last week, Monday Night Football against Houston, a big spot for him. And he's out there because Justin Gage is hurt. He's getting some valuable experience starting in the offense right now.
Although Hawkins in, draw play to Johnson, and he is hit by Carlos Dansby. Dansby, the middle linebacker, steps up right away to make a good tackle before Johnson could get rolling.
Listen to the pads here.
There's some hard hitting there. Both teams with the full complement of timeouts. Carlos Dansby's been active in this first half.
Sammy's active every week. The guy leads their defense in tackles.
3rd and 3. 3 wide receivers for Tennessee. Everybody out. Young with time. He puts it up deep for Nate Washington, who makes the grab. He beat 2 defenders on the play, and he's out of bounds at the 37-yard line. He beat Ralph Brown and Antrell Roll.
Yeah, and watch him beat Ralph Brown. He's just going to run right by him. Those legs are too much for Ralph Brown to be able to hold. hold up on, and then the throw by Vince Young is just perfect. I mean, he makes a good read. He recognizes man coverage. He knows now that he does have Nate Washington manned up on Ralph Brown. He found the matchup he wanted and executed perfectly with the throw.
Vince Young 9 for 10, steps up, has pressure, throws incomplete. Try to get it to Chris Johnson. That time Bertrand Berry with good pressure almost got to the quarterback.
Good to see Nate Washington hold on to it too. That same play they ran in the last game, and he dropped it, and it was a perfect throw from Vince. I'll tell you, Vince is having a heck of a first half. You look at him, he's 9 of 11. You just saw the deep ball. He is executed within the offense perfectly. Impressed with number 10 right now.
You can see the growth as a quarterback in Vince Young. Now 9 for 11, 140 yards passing. 3 wide receivers on second down. Young steps up and completes it to Bo Scaife, short of the 30-yard line. At the 32. And they'll bring up a third down. Tennessee has called the timeout.
I think one thing when you look at Vince Young and his development in the passing game, Sammy, he's got a compact throwing motion. He doesn't have a tremendously strong arm, but rhythm and timing are huge for him. Very important, getting it out quick. He can look off defenders with his eyes. You love that part of his development. He throws great off the run. I mean, that's obvious. He can move the pocket, use his legs as an asset, and then extending drives. Probably what he does best, getting out of harm's way. Defense thinks that, you know, they've got the guy sacked in the backfield, and he's able to exploit it and break your back. And we've seen examples of just about all of that stuff in the first half of this game.
The biggest improvement I see in him, Tim, is more patience, that he doesn't take off right away after looking at his first receiver.
And you know why he's more patient? He's more confident. It's all based on his confidence level and his mindset.
3 wide receivers. Chris Johnson in the backfield. Everybody out. Young. Nobody open, trying to take off, but the Cardinals have it covered. Well done. Again, this time it was Darnell Dockett with a tackle. And we have an injured player on the field.
It's Clark Higgins.
Yeah.
Arizona is charged with 13 timeout due to injury under 2 minutes.
Arizona charged with a timeout as the medical team checks out Clark Higgins. We go down to the sideline, check in with Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, as you know, Vince Young was very humble yesterday when he spoke to us, and he was very honest about the fact that after a roller coaster last year, he had let outside issues affect his game. This year, he's more focused, and through a lot of prayer, talking to mentors, even like a guy like Kobe Bryant or the coaching staff, he feels at ease. He also has developed a great relationship with Kerry Collins. He learned a ton last year by just watching him. His girlfriend and Kerry Collins' wife even work out together, so having that support on and off the field has really helped Vince Young. Guys.
Thanks, Carissa.
Agree with all of that. And then I think on top of that, and just being year number 2 in Mike Heimerdinger's offense. I mean, I don't think you can underestimate that whatsoever. He's a different player in this offense than he was in Norm Chow's offense, Sam. It's obvious.
Going for it on 4th and 8. Everybody out. Young gets time. He puts it up. He's got a man, and he completes it to Kenny Britt at the 12-yard line. Good throw, good catch as he went one-on-one with Matt Ware.
I want you to watch Adrian Wilson. I mean, this is one less guy in coverage because he's going to spy. Watch him spy Vince Young. I mean, he's with Vince the whole way, which clearly you got one more defensive back up in the box. It's going to put someone in single coverage out on the edge. That time it was Matt Ware versus Kenny Britt.
Big play by Vince Young on a 4th and 8. He hits Kenny Britt for 24 yards. And a timeout called as it's 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
And probably a perfect example of the patience you were just talking about with Vince Young. Not trying to force it in there, just taking what he's got, surveying the field. Found his matchup that he wanted and threw a nice ball.
And a chance to put it in the end zone. 14 seconds remaining in the half. Blitz coming. Young rolling and throwing, incomplete. A low throw intended for Bo Scaife. He was covered by Matt Ware, but I thought Scaife could have had that.
No doubt. The ball location was perfect. You put it on the body and you put it low to where the defender can't get it. Just another terrific play by Vince. Adrian Wilson was coming off the edge on the blitz, and yeah, as Kenny Britt is running all the way across the field, Vince didn't see him, and I think part of that was Adrian Wilson getting in his face coming off the edge. It was still, at the end of the day, a good throw by Vince. Scaife should have been able to hold on to it.
8 seconds remaining in the half. Tennessee has 1 timeout remaining. Everybody out. Young. And he is hit, stays with the ball. But time's going to run out. Time ran out. And they get no points. Young, instead of going down and calling a timeout, stayed on his feet, scrambled, and ran out of time.
Yeah, that's his first mistake of the half, Sam.
End of the half, Tennessee leads 6-3. We're getting close to the start of the second half. Jeff Fisher getting his team set to go with a 6-3 lead. A lot of the discussion today on the pregame show is about concussions, with Ben Roethlisberger out and Kurt Warner out today. And the guys had a terrific commentary throughout on the concussion issue. You played, you took some big hits. What are your thoughts?
Well, a couple things. I agree with you. I thought the guys were terrific in how they talked about it. Sam, there's no doubt that concussions and the lingering effects of concussions are a major issue in pro football. But I got to tell you, I think this. I don't know if we can continue to modify the game even more on Sundays and how guys play it. To me, it's simply a hazard of the game. So I think you need to improve the equipment. And again, I think they've come a long way in the advancements of the helmet technology. And that's coming, and that's going to get better. But another thing that I think about is legislating mouthpieces and making, you'd be very surprised at how many guys down on that field are not wearing mouthpieces on Sundays. And it may sound a little Pop Warner-ish, but I really believe this. I would like to see guys get remember the old leash that goes to the face mask that holds the mouthpiece in place? I think that has got to be part of it, or at least considered, to where then the officials at least really know, because it's hard to tell whether a guy's wearing one or isn't. And I think that it makes things a lot easier for the official to understand whether or not the guy is actually wearing his mouth guard or his mouthpiece.
Tennessee, which deferred in the first half of the opening kickoff. On the return here, Kenny Britt. And flags come in. 2 of them fly in. Britt was
During the return,
pushed out of bounds at the 30, holding against
team,
Tennessee.
Number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Jacob Ford.
Get 3 points. That is the first time I have ever seen in pro football a missed sack by Calais Campbell, Sam, count as 3 points for your football team. In effect, that's what it was.
He did a good job on the hit on Vince Young, but Young did a bad job remembering how little time was left. Chris Johnson, Ahmad Hall in the backfield from the 15. On the toss to Chris Johnson. Nice cutback. Johnson gets 9 on the first down run. Let's check out what Carissa Thompson found out at halftime. Carissa.
Well, guys, as you can imagine, catching up with Coach Fisher, not too happy as he went into the locker room at halftime. However, he is happy with the overall play of his quarterback and the patience that he's exhibited. Defensively, he says, we let them convert on some long downs. Not very good. For Coach Wisenhunt, he says we got to take more chances. Continue to play the way we played in the end of the second quarter and take some chances downfield, guys.
Thanks, Carissa. On 2nd and 1, Chris Johnson's got a first down as he slipped through a small hole and gets up to the 30-yard line. Vince Young, 11 of 14, 169 yards passing in the first half.
And what I liked about him is he was breaking down the blitz. That was the first pass of the game. You can see here again, breaking free from some of the pressure, and then throws a deep ball. Just a perfect throw, recognizing the man coverage. Really appreciate his execution and his recognition, Sam, what the defense is trying to do to him.
Off the play fake, Young with time, wanted to go deep, goes short to Ahmad Hall, the fullback. Slipped 1 tackle and gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Pickup of 6.
Well, Vince is going to take a hit here. As you see, Eugene Amano, he's trying to block Calais Campbell, who does a nice job of spinning back inside. Good job by Terry McCauley, too, with a no call, just letting that proceed. Good job by Calais Campbell.
Two tight ends in, Bo Scaife and Algie Crumpler on 2nd and 4. Crumpler motions. Chris Johnson. There's a big hole. He tried to get outside to go behind a couple of blockers, but a good tackle on the play by Adrian Wilson.
Well, and here's Vince and what he's been able to do in terms of the running game and extending plays with his legs. They've been able to play keep away from the Arizona Cardinals. Now, what the Cardinals did in the second quarter is they started to get that running game cranked up a little bit. They started having some success in the running game, and then you saw Matt Leinart certainly find a comfort level in the throwing game, and he finished that second quarter, Sam, pretty good throwing the football.
Yes. 6 defensive backs in on 3rd and 4. Everybody out. Blitz coming. It's picked up, and the pass is caught. And fighting his way for a first down was Nate Washington. Let's see where they mark forward progress. It's going to be very close. Ralph Brown had him wrapped up, and Washington with that little extra lunge got the first down.
Well, and you can see why they've only given up 7 sacks. Watch Mawai, who's going to stick the nose tackle Calais Campbell and then come off on the blitzer Adrian Wilson. I mean, you can't do it any better than that. And that to me is, I mean, that just shows why they're so good. They're great in communication. They understand the protection declarations, who's coming, who isn't. That was perfect from Mawai.
Johnson, and he is hit before he got started. No gain on the play. Trying to show patience and waiting for a hole to open up. Antrell Roll came in and plugged it and took him down.
I think another thing about Chris Johnson is he's so nimble. He's got small feet. I'll tell you this, there's not a lot of guys out there wearing size 9 shoe on the field at any position. And I mean, he uses that to his benefit. I don't know what the benefit would be, but there's no doubt that those feet are hot. Things can go. Very, very good feet.
2nd and 10, Algie Crumpler motions. And there's movement, and they stop the play.
False start, offense number 28. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Chris Johnson moved too soon.
We were talking about his feet. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right. It was the feet. Lendell White, coach's decision, is inactive today, so the entire running game is falling on Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate, but that doesn't sound right. And coach's decision. I think Lendell prepared all week like he was going to play, so could be another issue there.
2nd and 15. Off the play fake. Screen pass to Johnson. Mawai leading him. And Johnson gets to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play. Gerald Hayes with the tackle. Nose tackle Gabe Watson goes to the sideline. You know, you talked about the protection of Tennessee. Arizona's done well with 2 sacks in the game by Darnell Dockett. Tennessee, the fewest sacks in the league, 7 coming into the game. Dockett coming up with 2 today.
Well, and they could have a couple more. Calais Campbell missed one right before half, and we've seen 3 or 4 defenders drip off Vince Young in the first half of this game as he was able to extend plays with his legs.
3rd and 10, 3 wide receivers in. Everybody out. Young started to run, trying to shovel it off to Kenny Britt. It comes up short. Good job inside by the Arizona defense, led by Alan Branch and Clark Higgins.
Yeah, real good job by Alan Branch. Now, what they're doing with Kenny Britt, he is a big, long strider. Big guy, send him in front of the zone just on a crossing route. We've seen that a couple of times today. Vince Young's got to get it out sooner. I think what Vince was thinking at first was he was going to take off and run. And then at the last second, he saw that he was not going to be able to break free of Alan Branch and was able to get rid of it, but it was well short.
Brett Kern's second punt, a good one. Steve Breston waits for a fair catch at the 15. So the Cardinals have a good defensive series. Now they go on offense for the first time in the second half. Back in Nashville, Arizona Cardinals playing without their #1 quarterback, Kurt Warner, best road quarterback in the league this season, out with concussion symptoms. Matt Leinart has gone all the way from the 15. Short drop outside of Larry Fitzgerald. 500th career catch in the NFL for Larry Fitzgerald. 3rd of the game. Short pickup. But this guy, you make a strong case for him being the best receiver in the NFL.
Well, you look at the touchdowns in the last year and a half, there's nobody been close in terms of getting into the end zone. You know, I got to tell you, back to Kurt Warner for a second. I think Kurt really struggled with that decision this morning. And at the end of the day, I think realized I better protect Kurt from Kurt, because I really think he came into this locker room today wanting to play.
On 2nd and 7, Leinart being rushed, completes to the fullback, Dan Kreider, and he is hit hard by Keith Bullock. The leading tackler on the Titans closed quickly on the fullback Kreider.
Matt Leinart using the glove for the first time today. Of course, his accuracy, especially at the end of the second quarter. I mean, that is perfect. There's another one, perfect, right on the body, great location. That one nice and high. The receiver never breaks stride. Another perfect throw. I think those gloves give you that tackiness in terms of the release. He has been very precise since about the second quarter of this game with his accuracy.
4 wide receivers in on 3rd and 5. The blitz coming. He steps up and throws and completes it to Anquan Boldin for a first down. That was a good throw by Leinart as he rifled it in, as Boldin was well covered.
Well, and it's accuracy under pressure, because you're going to see a rush here and you're going to see him get here, and watch the quarterback. He just steps up, never flinches. You got Ford coming in there, Van den Bosch, Hayes, and he slides it right into the hole in the zone coverage. Never worrying about the rush. That's the thing now. Yeah, a lot of guys can throw with accuracy, but if you can throw with accuracy under pressure, that's a difference maker.
Beanie Wells in the backfield. Boldin's 4th catch of the game. It's Wells straight ahead. And a short pickup up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Beanie Wells just 4 carries in the game. Larry Fitzgerald 3 catches, and Anquan Boldin 4, but no big stuff, all short stuff. Steve Breston 1 catch.
Well, I think, like I said, as their running game continues to go and they get success, you're going to see more of those one-on-one matchups out on the edges. Would provide an opportunity, Sam, for that big play down the field.
4 wide receivers in. Tim Hightower in the backfield. On 2nd and 6, it's Hightower. Big collision as he gets up to the 29-yard line. Cortland Finnegan, Chris Hope combined on the stop of Tim Hightower.
He's a great story. Didn't even go to the combine in Indianapolis, coming out of Richmond, was a 5th-round pick. Said he didn't have any great years up until his final year there when he exploded. And he knew right away when he got to Arizona. Of course, Edgerrin James was still there. He knew right away, I better learn how to pass protect or I won't be on the field. It was a challenge to him early. He has grown by leaps and bounds in protecting the quarterback.
Another big 3rd down play. 3rd and 3, 4 wide receivers in. Hightower in the backfield. Flag goes up. False start, Arizona.
And Breston, I believe, gave a little flinch.
False start, offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So from 3rd and 3, it goes to 3rd and 8.
3rd and 7.
You just wonder if that's any type of result of Kurt Warner taking all the reps with the number 1s all week, because there's no doubt that Leinart's cadence and Leinart's inflection in his voice is different than Kurt Warner.
See Leinart's numbers on 3rd down. Fitzgerald motions. 4 wide receivers out. There's some pressure outside of Fitzgerald with a leaping grab for a first down. Great catch by Larry Fitzgerald right at the first down marker.
Yeah, and a good throw by Matt Leinart. Here you go, Fitzgerald here. He's just going to run an out route on Cortland Finnegan. And look at it, as he makes that break, the ball is perfectly placed high to the outside where only Fitz can get it. Good job by the offensive line in blitz pickup, and again, appreciate Leinart knowing the pressure's coming, keeping his eyes downfield and throwing strikes.
Needed 8, got 8. Leinart checking off as Tennessee shows blitz, and they come with it.
There's the
Leinart hit as he throws, and it's overthrown for Anquan Boldin, with Cortland Finnegan covering him well on the play. And it looked like big Kevin Vickerson with the hit on the quarterback.
Oh, he did. Watch him come inside here. Oh, look what he does to Reggie Wells. Just bull rushes Reggie Wells to his back. Pretty good for a guy who was a college free agent. He was able to hit Leinart. Now that's the shot I was talking about. They had 8 defenders up in the box. They had the singles on the outside in terms of the perimeter matchups. And Matt took a shot.
Javon Curse in at left defensive end for Tennessee. Beanie Wells in the backfield. And Beanie Wells carries. Big crowd there, not much running room. Maybe half a yard gain on the play. Rain has started to fall here in Nashville. A light rain coming down.
And one thing about this defense, and starting the season 0-6, and we all know it was, their injuries on the back end, and they didn't have Albert Haynesworth trying to replace him. As they've gotten healthier, they've gotten better. When you put on the tape, I mean, this group plays with as much confidence as any defense in the league. The way they fly around and play within their scheme.
3rd and 8. Hightower in the backfield. Ben Patrick, the tight end, lines up in the backfield. Blitz coming. Leinart steps up. He's dragged down. Kyle Vanden Bosch with a sack. He fought off the block, grabbed Leinart by the ankles and dragged him down.
Yeah, look at this big wide technique, what they call a 9 technique or a 9 alignment. Look at all this space. He is way outside. He's just going to run the corner. And then Vanden Bosch, his motor is always running hot at about 5,000 RPMs for 60 minutes, and that's just second effort. As Leinart climbs up in the pocket, Vanden Bosch is able to grab that foot and get him down.
3rd sack of the season for Kyle Vanden Bosch. Ben Graham with a big leg. Low line drive punt, but takes a good bounce for Arizona and rolls out of bounds at around the 15-16 line. Leinart tried to get it off. Vanden Bosch wouldn't let him do it. Good lineup of games on the NFL on Fox next Sunday. Eagles at Atlanta, Saints at Washington, Lions at the Bengals, Rams and Bears, Bucks at the Panthers. Second game, Dallas at the Giants, while the 49ers at Seattle. It all begins with a Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame shown at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. On first down, Vince Young throws too high, intended for the tight end Bo Scaife. Tennessee will play at Indianapolis next week. The Colts going to 11-0 with a comeback win in Houston today. Tennessee turning their season around with 4 straight wins.
Oh, they're right in the thick of it now. They are right in the thick of it in terms of the playoff race. Yes, they're a game or 2 behind, but there is no doubt this team is in the hunt when you look at the wild card.
Jacksonville is losing. They're 6-4. They're losing in San Francisco 17-3. 2 tight ends in. It's Chris Johnson breaking a tackle. Here's the big run. Johnson down the sideline is going all the way. Touchdown. Chris Johnson, the NFL's leading rusher.
What a great block by this guy right here, Michael Roos. They are just going to ride Calais Campbell out to the edge. And there's the cut up right there. Kevin Mawae is able to hold on to Gabe Watson just enough. But it was really the Mike Roos block on Calais Campbell that opened up that hole wide open. And that's the big pop I was talking about with Chris Johnson. He'll go 2, he'll go 4, he'll go 6, he'll go 50, he'll go 60 and bust you down with the big one.
That is his 9th touchdown run of the season. It ties a career high. He's only had a 2-year career, but it's been spectacular. Just like this 85-yard run. It starts with great blocking, doesn't it?
Well, it really does. And all 4 of those guys right there had outstanding blocks. Now, David Stewart was on the opposite side, but look, Roos had a great block. Imano helped him and then got to a backer. Mawae was able to reach the center just enough, and Gabe Watson. Jake Scott got to the second level and cut off the backside linebacker, and Carlos Dansby. Outstanding job by that whole group up front.
And the kick by Rob Baronis, brought back by LaRod Stevens. Howling, good hole, and he breaks it outside. And LaRod Stevens, Howling going all the way. Touchdown, Arizona. "98 yards for LaRod Stevens. Howling, the first kickoff return for a touchdown in his career. And what a response by the Arizona Cardinals.
Now watch the two-man wedge form, and he's just going to get right up behind it. He just gets right in behind those guys. What a great job of cutting off the block. Right there of Kenny Awebima. And that's just terrific by Rod Stevens-Howling and his vision to notice the defender was on the inside, cut right off the side of Awebima, and then it was off to the races.
Big play against big play. 85-yard touchdown run by Chris Johnson, matched by a 98-yard kickoff return by Rod Stevens-Howling. And it's back to a 3-point game. Wow, nearly 10 years since the Tennessee Titans have given up a kickoff return for a touchdown. 155 games, and Rod Stevens-Howling officially 99 yards on the return.
And you saw Alan Lowry there, the special teams coach, going over the pictures and try to find out what the breakdown was. You know that kills Jeff Fisher, the old special teams head that he was.
The rookie Kenny Britt on the return, his second of the game. He breaks through an opening and is forced out of bounds, but a good return by the rookie wide receiver. Look at the 35, 36-yard line.
How about the stiff arm he threw on Neil Rackers? Watch this. The kicker in there. Here you go. Pow!
Chris Johnson has rushed for 150 yards in the game, becoming the third player in NFL history, joining Earl Campbell and Eric Dickerson to run for over 125 yards in 6 consecutive games. Vince Young on first down. Whoa, that was quite a breakup as Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was riding the back of the receiver, Kenny Britt.
Now here it is, man coverage. Big receiver on big corner. 6'2", Cromartie goes. Oh, that's good. Immaterial contact, goes up over his shoulder, makes a play on the ball. Ball was thrown a little bit behind the receiver, and Cromartie comes up with a nice bat down.
2nd and 10 at the 36. Two tight ends in. Crumpler and Scaife. Off the play fake. Young started to run. He's brought down. 3rd sack of the game. Darnell Dockett gets his 3rd of the game. He has had sacks in 4 consecutive games, and that's a career high for him, 3 in a game.
Well, and yeah, did have 3 in the Super Bowl, too. Here he is. He was so excited for this matchup against these guys, and he just battles. He's working with 2 guys, working on Dave Stewart, little arm over, keep going. Vince tries to slide up, has nowhere to go with the pursuit of Calais Campbell, and Chike O'Keefer coming front side, and Dockett is able to corral him for another sack.
See the numbers. Tennessee had given up only 7 coming into the game. 3rd and 16. Young with time. Goes short to Chris Johnson. And Johnson is hit hard as he got to the 44-yard line. A couple of yards short of the first down. Michael Adams with a big hit along with Matt Ware.
Now that's a huge play by Michael Adams. You just see the speed right there of Chris Johnson, and he's going to get the first down if it's not for 27. All 5'8" Mike Adams came in there and delivered a terrific shot.
So it forces a punt after a 14-yard pickup. 3rd punt of the game for Brett Kern. Steve Breston deep for the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals have won 5 consecutive road games coming into this one. Good high punt by Kern. Breston lets it bounce at the 10, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. 13-10, Tennessee leading. 56-yard punt, but it nets 36. With a light rain falling here in Nashville, the Arizona Cardinals go to work offensively at the 20-yard line. 4 wide receivers in. Tennessee with 6 defensive backs. Leinart works out of the shotgun. Everybody out. Leinart with time. Throws, and a diving effort and holding on is Anquan Boldin. Up at the 45-yard line. They'll set it at the 44. Great play by Boldin.
Yeah, good throw by Leinart, but even a better catch by Anquan Boldin. Watch this. It looks like he catches it down on his right thigh pad. That ball looked like it was not going to be caught. He lays out for it. Look at Leinart read the defense and just goes right back to the right guy, lays out, and able to capture that thing before it hits the ground. Terrific catch.
24-yard gain. Bolden with 5 catches, 53 yards in the game. Leiter going outside to Steve Breaston. He's wrapped up immediately by Nick Harper. Up across midfield at the Tennessee 49. Boy, a couple of back-to-back big plays. Tennessee opened up to a 10-point lead on an 85-yard touchdown run by Chris Johnson. And then right back on the next play, the kickoff, Larod Stevens howling. Cardinals didn't flinch, they just answered back.
This team has got a great mindset, evidenced by that, evidenced by him being 5-0 on the road this year.
Tim Hightower trying to get outside. Nice play and a hard run for a first down at the 45-yard line. Keith Bullock brings him down. The time winding down here in the third quarter in a tough, hard-nosed game. The Cardinals, 3 wins in a row, 5 wins in a row on the road. The Titans, 4 wins in a row. They go to the fourth quarter with Tennessee leading Arizona 13-10. Start of the fourth quarter in Nashville for Ken Whisenhunt. His team much better on the road. This is his 3rd year. They've gotten into a better routine. They've handled the travel better. Right now, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the Tennessee 45. 4 wide receivers in. Fitzgerald motions. Leinart. And it's dropped by Bolden. That was in his hands and he dropped it. Leinart 11 for his last 14 passing. That one should have been caught.
Yeah, he has really settled down. He's done a terrific job of reading the defense. That time they brought Larry Fitzgerald in motion, which determined to Matt Leinart that nobody ran with him. Okay, we got a zone, and he was able to hit the drop back and throw it to the perfect guy in Bolden. He couldn't hold on to it. You know, another thing of them being 5-0 on the road, I think last year at the end of the season, going to Carolina, winning in the playoffs was huge for this team's mindset.
Good point. Beanie Wells in the backfield. Leinart on 2nd down, completes to Preston. Fights his way forward. He's just short of the first down as they spot it at the 36-yard line. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Carissa Thompson here in Nashville with a good ball game as Tennessee trying to fight their way back into contention for a wild card spot. Arizona first place in the NFC West, one of the top teams in the NFC. They've won 6 out of 7.
And if they could come here in this tough venue and get a win without their quarterback, Kurt Warner, the Pro Bowler, be a huge statement.
3rd and 1 as the Titans crowd gets loud. And fighting his way for a first down was Beanie Wells, and he's got it.
Now there's a good example of what kind of power this guy possesses as a first-round pick, because they hit him right in the hole. I believe it's Tulloch right there, number 55, who is a sure tackler. That's what you want. You want your backer meeting that running back at the line of scrimmage, and more times than not, that back should go backwards. The power of Beanie Wells propelled him forward for about another yard for a first down.
Now they've got Hightower and Wells together in the backfield. Now Beanie Wells goes in motion on first down. Leinart steps up, throws for Beanie Wells. He's got it inside the 15 and out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
How about Beanie Wells as a receiver split out wide? He's just going to get behind the corner and in front of the safety, and Leinart puts enough air under it. Looked like Nick Harper mistimed his jump right there, and Leinart slid it right into the hole to his tailback for a huge play.
Leinart's really throwing the ball well. 21-yard gain on the play. He's 16 of 25 for 165.
And look, he was terrific in the preseason, so clearly he is building off of that here in week 12.
2 tight ends in, Patrick and Beck. Hightower bounces his way through the hole and gets down to the 6-yard line. Good run on first down by Tim Hightower. Cortland Finnegan made the tackle. Good drive by the Arizona Cardinals, which started from the 20-yard line.
And as they're able to continue to run the ball, and Matt is delivering the football for first downs, that time of possession in favor. They're really balancing it out. They're starting to slide back to Arizona now.
9th play of the drive. The toss to Hightower, couple of blockers. He is down to the goal line and he's in. Touchdown. Tim Hightower with good power takes it into the end zone, and the Cardinals have the lead for the first time in the game. His 6th rushing touchdown. And a solid run. A couple of blockers leading him, and Kurt Warner leading the cheers on the sideline.
Well, and here's the guy. Watch Anthony Beckton. He's going to block down on William Hayes. There's the block down. Then you get everybody else out pulling. Levi Brown. He knocks the defender into the end zone. Second effort by Hightower on the spin for the touchdown.
Neil Racker's extra point is good. 80-yard drive, 9 plays, 80 yards. Matt Leinart leading the way, and the Arizona Cardinals have the lead 17-13. Neil Rackers kicks it off. Short one, Kenny Britt coming over, and it goes out of bounds. So Tennessee will start from the 40-yard line. Not a good kickoff by Neil Rackers.
Ball be placed.
Matt Leinart is having himself quite a game, replacing Kurt Warner. Check out how your fantasy players are doing. Well, Chris Johnson, with his 85-yard touchdown run, jumped ahead of everybody with 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Jason Forsett with a couple of touchdowns in the game. LaDainian Tomlinson with 2. From the 40, the toss to Chris Johnson. Short pickup. He's one of those running backs. You think you've had him contained, you keep him under control, and suddenly he burst through the hole for that 85-yarder, and that wasn't even his longest. That was his 3rd longest of the season. He's had a 91-yard touchdown run and an 89-yard touchdown
and
run.
you're just not going to catch the guy. It's off to the races when he gets in the open field. And you saw Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who's also one of the faster guys in the league, who could not catch him before he got to the end zone.
On 2nd and 9, Young. Screen pass, actually dumped it off to Bo Scaife, the tight end. Turns into a big gain down to the 37-yard line of Arizona. 22-yard gain.
Well, a couple things here. Here's Scaife, where he's just going to sit right here, but I want you to watch this, and Mawai is going to take Brian Robinson all the way to the side. He thinks it's a screen going out wide. And he's just going to run out of there, and that's exactly how they want. They want the D-line running out with the offensive lineman, and then they slide Bo Scaife right underneath it all on a little angle route there for the big completion.
And a couple of injured Cardinals on the play. Will step out as they get checked out. Calais Campbell and Carlos Dansby went off the field under their own power. 1984, Eric Dickerson set the single-season rushing record, 2,105 yards. Right now, Chris Johnson is ahead of that pace through 11 games, including this one, and still going. On 1st down, it's Johnson. Trying to get outside. Alan Branch chases him, and then he is brought down by Bryant McFadden. Trying to get to 2,000 and beyond. Eric Dickerson leads with 2,105 yards. Jamal Lewis, 2nd. Barry Sanders in 1997, 2,053. Terrell Davis, 4th. Single season highest total. And O.J. Simpson, 2,003 yards in 1973. And for Chris Johnson, if he averages 126 the rest of the way, he'll get to 2,000. 144 the rest of the way per game would get him the single season record. Young going into the end zone, and that ball was dropped. Almost intercepted by Brian McFadden as he had Kenny Britt well covered. So Young took a shot deep in the end zone.
Yeah, he did. McFadden's all over it, though. Look at him playing the ball. They're both playing the ball. That's all incidental contact, inadvertent tripping right there. They both were trying to play the ball, and Vince is lucky that wasn't intercepted, as Bryant McFadden could not continue the process of the catch and hold on to it.
Well, if he holds on to it on the ground, that's a great interception. 3rd and 11 for the Titans.
Ready, go.
Young They contain him, and the short pass to Johnson out of the backfield. Flag on the play as Johnson is forced back from the 31-yard line by Ralph Brown, and they continue to go at it even past the whistle. And now the tempers starting to flare. The officials get in to settle things down. We'll check out the flag. Forward progress just short of the 31-yard line. And the penalty is against Tennessee.
That's some OPI against Tennessee, huh? Looked like Dave Stewart was getting into it with Adrian Wilson right at the end of that play is what some of the action was after the play.
Terry McCauley explaining the Ken
Offensive
Wisenhunt.
pass interference. Number 80. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Bo Scaife, the tight end, called for the offensive interference.
And then here, right there, watch David Stewart as he hits Ware, and then he hits Wilson.
Oh boy!
goes on top of him, and
Wilson won't stand for that, so he goes right back at him.
The thing with Scaife is he was blocking while that ball was in the air, so that was a good call by the back judge to get him with offensive pass interference.
Calais Campbell back in the game at defensive end for the Cardinals. 3rd and 21. Young fakes and throws, and it is incomplete. Intended for Nate Washington. Ralph Brown on the coverage. They've gone at Ralph Brown a few times, and he's held up.
And they have not dialed up any pressure on Vince Young. They are rushing with 4, and they're just keeping him in the pocket. That was their ambition. Try to keep Vince Young in front of you, in the pocket. Do not let him scramble. And then defensively, Sam, they're keeping everybody back. That was quarters coverage, which means 4 guys deep, and keeping it all in front of him. We're able to get in and get the ball batted out before the receiver could catch it.
So the penalty hurts the Titans. And Brett Kern with his 4th punt of the game. Good high kick. Preston lets it bounce, and the Titans will cover it. And there's a flag on the play.
And I think Awebama and Ralph Brown.
The ball was down at the 9-yard line.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 91. Half the distance to the goal. Timeout.
That's on Kenny Awebama, big special teams player for the Cardinals. But the Cardinals are pushed back deeper in their own territory, but they've got the ball.
Welcome back to Nashville. Well, Carlos Dansby was injured a couple plays ago. He has been out and on the training table. It's a right shoulder injury. His return is questionable, guys.
Thanks, Carissa. Calais Campbell, who collided with him, came back in the game. Cardinals start from their 5-yard line, and it is loud down there. Leinart puts it up out of the end zone. Ben Patrick, the tight end, with a great catch. Up to the 28-yard line, a pickup of 23. What a play.
What did Ken Wisenhunt tell us yesterday? Look, if Leinart's got to play, he can run the whole package. You love the confidence they have in him. Look, he is right in his own end zone. Here's Patrick, who's going to get into the zone of the defense. And Leinart, just a nice soft touch, throws it up, lets the tight end adjust to it. He comes back, Ben Patrick, with a very nice adjustment, but that's great confidence from Kenny Wisenhunt in the quarterback, Matt Leinart, calling that play with his back against the wall.
Beatty Wells carrying nothing there. Good job by the Tennessee Titans up front. Wells fighting his way up to the 30-yard line. They give him 2 yards on the play. You had a look at Kurt Warner, who's in sweats on the sideline. Came to the field today, woke up with some blurred vision problems, an aftermath of the concussion of last week, and told the coaches he couldn't go.
Well, he told me before the game he actually thought of not telling him. He said he got here and he knew his vision was messed up, went into the training room and was contemplating whether to tell him or not. Then he said a voice jumped up in his head and said, "You idiot, tell him what you're feeling and be real with it."
2nd and 8. Leinart has played well. Throwing short out of the backfield. Tim Hightower, a 1st down. Takes a hard hit. Falls forward to the 46-yard line. Good job by Leinart, and Hightower out of the backfield.
Thornton's hurt as he came over and delivered a body-rocking shot on Tim Hightower. Hightower kept running, and David Thornton went to the ground.
Thornton, who has been banged up recently, looks like he's okay as the training staff checks him out. catches his breath. 16-yard pickup on the play. So in just a couple of plays, the Cardinals have moved from their own 5-yard line up to the 46.
Yeah, here's Thornton in the shot on Tim Hightower. Oh, helmet to helmet. He actually knocks Hightower down with a little help from Finnegan, but that was a vicious shot.
Thornton looks like he's okay. He's replaced by the rookie Gerald McGrath, rookie out of Southern Mississippi, who saw some playing time when Thornton was out of the lineup. Ken Wisenhunt has really called a real good game from the sideline for Matt Leinart. Hightower, 73 yards, combined yardage from scrimmage. First down for the Cardinals. Beanie Wells in. Then Patrick, the tight end, lines up in the backfield, now shifts. Beanie Wells straight ahead, good hole, and a hard run by Beanie Wells. Picks up 5 into Titans territory to the 49-yard line. Wells hits the hole real fast.
Oh, no, he is a big horse now and a downhill runner. And talking to the guys, he is at his best when he's got his shoulder pads square to the line of scrimmage. And you can see, I mean, he hits that hole with tremendous intensity.
Arizona with a 4-point lead and a good drive going. Titans have to find the way to stop.
Let's see if they take a deep shot down the field here.
Off the play fake. Leinart dumps it off. Actually threw it to the ground. Closest man to it was Anthony Heck. There were 2 men on him. Good pressure by Tony Brown and William Hayes.
Yeah, and I thought he wanted to take a shot here to Steve Breston, who's just going to run a post. CC Breston right there. Good job by Leinart not trying to force it. Read good coverage by Finnegan. Got down to his check down, but his pressure forced him to get it out. But a good job by Leinart and realizing not to force it down the field.
4 wide receivers in on 3rd and 5. Bolden motions. Leinart, quick release to Breston. And he's hit at the 45, a yard short of the first down.
That's a really good job by the Tennessee defensive line up front. And they only rushed 3, but they were able to get enough pressure on Matt Leinart, just rushing 3 guys, that he had to unload the football before Breston could get past the first down mark.
So here on 4th and 1 in Tennessee territory, Ken Wisenhunt elects to punt it away. Ben Graham is in. His 5th punt of the game. Kevin Casevaharn standing at his 9-yard line. Graham puts it up in the air. The end over end punt. Stevens Howling got down there to down it. What a play by the rookie, LaRod Stevens Howling. He downed it at the 2-yard line. The first man down. He has been a special teams phenom today. Kick coverage, punt coverage, kick return. LaRod Stevens Howling, the rookie from Pitt, having a big impact in the game. 7th round draft pick out of Pittsburgh. He's played a whale of a game. LaRod Stevens Howling. What a play here on this punt coverage.
Yeah, don't underestimate it all. That ball goes into the end zone. It goes to the 20, so there's 19 yards of hidden yardage right there.
Titans start from the 2. Vince Young handing to Chris Johnson. And Johnson up to the 6-yard line. Ali Highsmith, number 95, has replaced Carlos Dansby. We got the report from Carissa that he's doubtful to return. Dansby injured. And there you see the man, the special team whiz, LaRod Stevens Howling.
And look, you knew coming into the game, Matt Leinart was going to need help. Getting his first start of the year, not having a lot of reps during the week. Matt's been terrific, but he's gotten a lot of support from his defense, and boy, his special teams has been outstanding.
And that was Calais Campbell batting down that pass by Vince Young. 6'8" Calais Campbell with the long arms, got him up and knocked the pass down.
Yeah, here's 93, and then Vince's release really is kind of from his shoulder. So that's part of Calais Campbell. He's got that compact release, which the ball comes out low, and it looked like it hit Calais Campbell somewhere down in the forearm. So the low throw combined with his height and his length got him a bat down.
6 defensive backs in for the Cardinals. 3rd and 6 for the Titans. Lavelle Hawkins motions, and they stop the play. False start on Tennessee. That'll set him back to the 3.
False start. Offense number 68. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
It's on Kevin Mawai, the center.
Yeah, watch this. Adrian Wilson, he's coming on a blitz, and Chris Johnson's going to step up to block him. 28. Pow.
Whoa.
Sit down, Chris.
Johnson's a strong player, but Adrian Wilson's a stronger player. Now back to the 3-yard line. They've got to get to the 12 for a first down. 3 wide receivers in. Young with time. Nobody open. Now he throws, and he found his man, Lavelle Hawkins. Hawkins with a stiff arm on Matt Ware goes out of bounds at the 25. 22-yard pickup on 3rd and 9.
Well, I think the decision to only rush 3 guys hurt Arizona right here. They dropped Chike O'Keefer in coverage. They're only going to rush 3, which means there's going to be a spot for Vince to escape. That's exactly what happens. They knock down Calais Campbell. Vince Young's able to find a little crease in the running lane, finds an open throwing lane, and finds Lavelle Hawkins inside of Chike O'Keefer, who was in coverage.
Good job by Young buying time until Hawkins got open. Young steps up and throws deep downfield for Britt, and he's got it. Kenny Britt fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by the Cardinals. Kenny Britt fumbled as he got up off the ground. The fumble recovered by Brian McFadden after a huge play by the Titans. They turn it over on the fumble.
Yeah, he's going to run right by Antrell Roll and McFadden. Now he goes down. Nobody touches him. Smartly, he gets up to run. Does not know Cromartie is on his backside. What terrific work by Cromartie, understanding that the play was still alive, that he was never touched, and to go in and pop it out. Wrapped his arm around and then ripped at it, and the ball comes loose.
A 51-yard pass play, and then Rogers Cromartie forces the fumble. First turnover of the game. So the Cardinals from the 30 with a 4-point lead. Tim Hightower takes it outside. He gets hit by Finnegan, and there's a flag on the play. Good pickup up to the 37.
Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Reggie Wells, the left guard. Wipes out a good first down run by Tim Hightower.
Yeah, the action is getting hot. Here's Hightower going down. He's got 2 or 3 Titans on top of him. Finnegan's got a hold of him. They're scrapping, tearing at each other. That's one thing about this Tennessee team on both sides of the ball. They are extremely, extremely physical. And I got to tell you, Arizona is matching that tempo here today.
Ball's back to the 20-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Cardinals. Hightower and Kreider in the backfield. It's Hightower. Good stiff arm on Hayes, and he picks up a couple of yards up to the 22-yard line.
Now, I think one thing with Tim Hightower, just in talking to him yesterday, and, you know, the guy came in and he was splitting time with Edgerrin James and would not get a lot of opportunities. So he said what he was doing is every time he touched the ball, he was trying to hit a home run.
Right.
He was trying so hard that he was not able to see the field. And really, as I like to say, play playground football. Go out and let your skills come to the forefront and play fast. He is clearly, boy, those eyes are scary. He is clearly much more comfortable, Sam, and much more confident. And you can see it as a runner letting the plays develop.
3 wide receivers in. Fitzgerald motions on 2nd and 18. Pressure. The screen to Hightower. And they've got him from behind up at the 25-yard line. Nick Harper and William Hayes combine on the stop. Brings up a 3rd and long for Arizona. The penalty and a couple of good defensive plays here by the Titans. Time winding down. Ken Whisenhunt sending in the play.
Boy, that time management, clock management now on Vince Young, and that error right before half and trying to extend the play and not get enough time, save time on the clock to have a field goal opportunity could end up being the difference in this game.
Jason Wright in the backfield for Arizona on 3rd and 15. Leinart to Wright, couple of blockers, breaks the tackle, and they wrap him up and take him down short of the 35-yard line, and Arizona will be forced to punt.
Now, one thing too, when you got a good running game, you got to have receivers that block. Fitzgerald is just screening and deflecting and keeping Nick Harper completely out of the play.
William Hayes, the defensive lineman, is hurt on the play and in pain. Timeout has been called. Don't forget, we've got the OT, the best post-game show there is, coming up next with scores, highlights, interviews, and then the BCS standings. And next week on Fox, it's the BCS selection show as we find out who's going to the bowl games. That's next Sunday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the All-State BCS selection show.
And the reason I'm talking about that clock management and that possible 3 points looming is, look, it's a 4-point game now.
Right.
I mean, they're going to get the ball back here with 2.5 minutes to go, and instead of kicking a field goal to tie this thing up, they're down 4.
They got to
get a touchdown.
Yeah. Heat pads out, ice packs. Kevin Casefaharn standing at his 25-yard line. Ben Graham with his 6th punt of the game. Tennessee used that last timeout. They have 2 remaining. Graham, good high kick. Casefaharn watches. It bounces down. Stevens Howling is there, and he stuck it at the 1. It got by him, but he dove before it got into the end zone, and he downed it at the 1-yard line. 64-yard punt, and LaRod Stevens Howling has been brilliant on special teams for Arizona.
Terrific. He has been everywhere, had the long return for a touchdown. How about Ben Graham, though? Let's give him a little credit, too, the punter, who's done a real fine job as well.
I'm surprised Casefaharn didn't get over to make the catch on the play.